Hoya Crimson Queen vs. Princess. My Crimson Queen is a showstopper. Her emerald green leaves are edged with a bright pink that fades to a creamy white as they mature. It's like watching a sunrise unfold on each leaf. This constant color change keeps things interesting, and under good light, the pink can be shockingly vibrant. However, I find the Crimson Queen can be a bit finicky with watering. If I miss the mark, those beautiful edges can crisp up. Hoya Crimson Princess, on the other hand, seems a touch more forgiving. Her leaves are like inverted queens, with a creamy center and a green margin. While the initial pink flush isn't as dramatic, the green seems richer and the leaves themselves feel sturdier. She might not have the dazzling color contrast of the queen, but her beauty is more subtle and consistent. See more 566 species in genus Hoya at monsteraholic.com. Hoya Crimson Queen vs. Tricolor. For a while, I thought the Crimson Queen and Tricolor were the same plant. They both have that stunning green center with a lighter margin. But after living with them both for a while, I've noticed some key differences. The Crimson Queen's variegation, that pink flush that fades to white, feels more dramatic. It's like a party on each leaf. The Tricolor, however, seems more content with a creamy white edge. It's beautiful, but in a quieter way. The Tricolor also seems to grow a bit faster than my Crimson Queen, which is a plus if you're looking to fill out a pot quickly. Ultimately, both are stunning Hoyas, but the Queen offers a more vibrant color show, while the Tricolor provides a more consistent, elegant look. How to propagate Hoya Crimson Queen. To propagate my Hoya Crimson Queen, I take stem cuttings with at least 2 nodes and a few leaves. I let the cut ends dry out for a few hours to prevent rot, then place them in water or directly into a well-draining soil mix. I keep the cuttings in a warm, humid environment and wait for roots to develop, which usually takes a few weeks. It's satisfying to see new roots forming, and it's a great way to expand my collection or share with friends. Does Hoya Crimson Queen flower? Yes, my Hoya Crimson Queen does flower, and the blooms are absolutely lovely. The flowers are small, star-shaped, and typically come in clusters. They are usually white or pale pink and have a sweet fragrance. The plant needs to be mature and well cared for to bloom, so patience and good care are essential. Does Hoya Crimson Queen grow fast? In my experience, Hoya Crimson Queen doesn't grow particularly fast. It's a relatively slow grower, especially compared to other houseplants. However, with the right conditions, bright, indirect light, consistent watering, and occasional feeding, it can produce steady growth. I find that being patient and providing optimal care is the key to seeing this plant thrive. How often to water Hoya Crimson Queen? I water my Hoya Crimson Queen about once every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the season and humidity levels. I always let the soil dry out partially between waterings to prevent root rot. The plant is quite drought tolerant, so it's better to underwater than overwater. I also make sure to use a well-draining soil mix to avoid waterlogged roots. How to care for Hoya Crimson Queen. Caring for my Hoya Crimson Queen involves providing bright, indirect light and maintaining a warm environment. I use a well-draining soil mix and water sparingly. During the growing season, I feed it with a balanced liquid fertilizer every month. I also prune it occasionally to encourage bushier growth and remove any dead or yellowing leaves. Can Hoya Crimson Queen live in medium light? Yes, my Hoya Crimson Queen can live in medium light, but it won't thrive as much as it would in bright, indirect light. In medium light, the growth may slow down, and the variegation might not be as pronounced. For the best results in vibrant color, I place mine in a spot where it gets plenty of bright, indirect sunlight. How to make Hoya Crimson Queen pink. To enhance the pink color in my Hoya Crimson Queen, I make sure it gets enough bright, indirect light. The pink variegation tends to be more prominent with increased light exposure. However, I avoid direct sunlight, which can scorch the leaves. Occasionally, I notice more pink during the plant's active growing season. Where to find Hoya Crimson Queen? I found my Hoya Crimson Queen at a local nursery, but they're also available at garden centers, specialty plant shops, and online plant stores. Searching online plant communities and marketplaces can also be fruitful. It took some patience to find a healthy, well-established plant, but it was well worth the effort.